Hey guys, this is Siren Productions, aka Nana4673, and I'm back in A Troll's Fairy Tale, part 3, I think. Yes, part 3. I'm just going to continue. I don't know how the volume is. I'm pretty confused with this music. Right. I narrowed my eyes at her once again, studying her face while folding my arms across my chest. Do that. You don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I do. I read what you wrote in your diary. With a yelp, I stood up of my bed while pointing an accusing finger down at her. You little rat! How dare you! Throwing a pillow up at my face, I could hear her giggling all over again. Can you blame me? You know that your 24-year-old big sister. If you knew that your 24-year-old old big sister still wrote in her diary faithfully every day, I bet you'd be curious to know what she was writing about. I knew it was silly, and I thought that I had kept it a secret, but apparently I suck at being sneaky. Looks like I'll have to find a new locker or hiding place for my diary. Do you really think that's a man's heart? Do you really think that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach? Motioning to me to sit back down, she went back, trying to tie my hair up in somewhat decent side row. I don't know. I guess I'm just a little curious and want to test the theory out to see that maybe if my words trailed off again as I felt embarrassed just thinking of something so childish. Never mind, it's stupid. And love makes you do stupid things, so go ahead and tell me. Well, I kind of thought I'd first be able to win the guy's heart with my baking, and then a little after, well, we could with my baking, and then after a little while, we would see that we are destined for each other. Holding my hands over my heart, I looked up at the stars outside my windows. But then if we get married and have kids, I can read them my whole story because I would have written it down in my diary. It would be the best and loveliest love story of them all, and when they ask me if this story is true, I will say that it is, and they should never give up finding their own fairy tale story someday too. Before I realized, I was standing up with my bed, cradling my pillow with my arms, and both of my hands clasped together at the side of my cheek. My sister was looking at me with an amused look on her face. Embarrassed that I let myself get carried away, I cleared my throat and lifted up my chin while sitting back down with my back to her. What are you doing wasting time? Are you going to finish or not? With a laugh, she wrapped her arms around me and gave me a tight hug. I'm so happy that you're my sister. Even though you act tough, you're just all mushy on the inside. What do you mean acting? I am tough. Whatever you say, sis, but just know that I'm at your side, so if you need any help, just say the word. That's good to know. Even though Mom has already lost all hope in the thought of true love, I was grateful that at least at least have one person supporting me and my little dream. Even though I'm not the image of beauty, you're so pretty. Nor do I have a lot of grace or elegance. That doesn't mean that I still don't want to be swept off my feet and experience a true love story on my own someday. With my wild hair finally under a little more control, I turned and looked back towards my mother and sister, who were shooing me towards the large gathering, laughing and talking amongst themselves. Remember to smile, be pleasant, and for the love of God, try not to break any bones. Just for tonight. You can do it, sis. I'm rooting for you. Mustering up a weary smile, I waved my hand and gave them a little nod. Here we go again. Letting out a steady. Is it steady or steady? I've never really figured out. And letting out a steady sigh, I made my way down towards the crowd. I did get a few glances here and there, but nothing more than that. Scooting out a spot, I took a seat next to an old tree and watched the others talk amongst themselves. As my eyes came to the crowd, I saw trolls flirting with fairies, fairies teasing dragons, and some dragons laughing it up with elves. It was then that I realized that this would be the perfect chance for me to get quite some time to sit down and write in my diary and maybe find some new spices to make my mother an apology pastry. I had a feeling that she was going to be giving me the cold shoulder for a little while longer. Then I felt a cold chill rush down my spine as I caught a glimpse of a familiar figure. You can't be serious. Standing up to get a better view, my suspicions were confirmed. There in the middle of the crowd stood the Golden Prince. I watched in disgust as I saw him laying on the charms of every girl in the crowd around. I'm so out of here. Grabbing the hem of my skirt to make my escape easier, I hurried away from the lively crowd and walked deeper into the woods until I could find a spot to sit and write. I gazed up at It's so pretty backgrounds. I gazed up and saw the moonlight shining through the leaves of the trees. Sitting on the edge of the pond, I dipped my hands in the water and watched the moon's reflection rippled with each wave of the wind. I'll hide out here for a little while before going home. Splashing some water in my face, I sat back and pulled out my diary. Sorry. I tuck it away. I tucked it away in what my sister would call my bank de bustier or something stupid like that. As I sat there, I let the calming sounds of the forest wash over me. The stress that had been building up slowly began to fade away as I relaxed and wrote in my diary. I'll find my own Prince Charming one day. Other people might want money and jobs, but for me, I want love on top of all of that. The rustling sound of the bushes muffled laughter caused me to bolt upright up and scan the area around me. I can guess I wasn't the only one who decided to venture off from the party. As the voices grew louder, I started to gather my things up, but then a thought crossed my mind. Why am I the one to hide and leave? Get up and leave. Do that. I don't know, I'm weird. With a sigh, I dusted off my skirt and walked away from the area that now grew noisier with loud chatter and obnoxious laughter. I made my way towards the fairy side of the enchanted forest and continued enjoying the peace and quiet. I wonder what happens if... Wait, okay, I'm sorry, but I'm going to try the other option to see what happens, okay? Just give me a sec. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm kinda nervous that I'm making the wrong choices, so I'm going to check what Albus is. Letting my things drop back to the ground, I sat down and went back to writing in my diary. With a stressful day like today, I didn't see the reason why I should give up my moment of peace and quiet just because of a group of people were passing by. The voices grew louder, and the group made its way into the clearing. A sudden quietness filled into the woods, and I felt a strange sensation that someone was watching me. An over-extracted cough quietly broke the silence. It was obviously that someone was trying to get my attention, but I ignored it and kept writing. Something suddenly oh my god, no. Snatched my diary out of my hands. I jumped up, ready to face whoever it was. Oh god. It was, and was shocked by a pair of icy silver eyes staring back at me. I could see a hint of amusement and anger in them. What the heck? I think you owe me an apology. No, I think not. I'm sorry, but who are you again? I tilted my head slightly while my eyebrows knit into a frown, hoping that maybe, just if I act innocent enough, I could wiggle my way out of this sticky situation. Don't act coy with me. You know what you did. Now apologize. His tone was arrogant and cold. Rolling my eyes, I pointed my finger in his face. You had it coming. Common sense would have told you never to touch a troll, and besides, you were meddling in the matters that didn't concern you. His intense gaze held mine, and I felt another strange chill go down my back as he took a step closer. I don't really think you want to make an enemy out of me, Buttercup. Taking a step back to put some distance between us, I scowled at him, trying to shoot the dirtiest look that my eyes could muster. Is that a threat? Put your hands on me and you'll find out soon enough. I don't think you know who you're messing with. Even with one look of his perfectly built physique, I already know that it wouldn't be much of a fight against him, but I should be able to still break a few of his bones. Well, I wasn't about to stand here and let him intimidate me. If it's a fight he wanted, then I'll be happy to deliver. But I could, before I could do anything, he quickly stepped forward, grabbed my arm, and pulled me closer to him. Are you crazy? His hand held onto my arm with an iron grip. I tried to pull myself away, but failed. You're not going to let go of me? My heart was hammering my chest with rage, and I could feel the adrenaline rushing through my veins as I prepared myself for a fight. You know, his words trailed off as he stood there, his deep silver eyes studying my face silently. His intense gaze was once again making me feel uncomfortable. If you think that I'm going to stand here like an idiot and let you... If I kissed you right now, would it be your first? Ooh! I like this guy. I was pretty angry at him before, but he's cool. He's cool. I think I did the right choice right there. My mouth hung open in shock. That was the last thing I was expecting him to say. I could feel the heat of embarrassment rising to my face as he finally let me go with a loud laugh. Look at your face. You didn't really... I stood there, feeling like a complete idiot as I heard the sob. Okay, I don't like you anyway. I hate you. Heard the sounds of his friends laughing along with him. It's gotten into me. I've never let myself be humiliated by a man like this. I knew that I'd lose this fight. With a low growl, I bit my lower lip to stop myself from letting my eyes tear up out of anger and humiliation. That's the one thing I most hated about myself. It's the fact that when I get angry or worked up, I always end up tearing up. I do that too. It's so annoying. If I let a single tear slide down my face, I look even more pathetic. Snatching my diary out of his hand, I then pushed past him and tried to walk away, but he stopped me by grabbing my arm. His laughter slowly started to fade away. Hang on a second, Buttercup. No, I don't want to. Go away. I was here first. That's not my name. What's with him and his stupid nicknaming? Lifting up my arms where his... Oh! Lifting up my arm where his fingers were, I bit down on his hand as hard as I could. Hey! Pulling his hand back, he looked at me shocked, but then switched to amusement and a wicked grin spread across his face. I guess your bite is just as bad as your bark. Do you think I'm ever going to apologize to you about anything? You have another thought coming. What's your name, Buttercup? Wouldn't you like to know? Idiot! It wasn't one of my most triumphed exits, but it was an exit nonetheless. Though I did make a fool out of myself by tripping over one of the tree roots as I walked out of the clearing towards home. Walk much? I could still hear the faint sound of him and his friends joining back in laughter as I made my way further into the woods. Out of the woods. This day didn't really end on a good note at all. Nah, I didn't. Alright, I have to end the episode here. I think this is a nice place to stop. But I like this game a lot. It's really cool. I like this game. I'm going to continue with it no matter what anyone says. So, see you guys in the next episode. Bye!